Hello and welcome to the latest episode of In My Voice podcast. I'm your host, Bonaheri, and I'm honored to have you tuning in today. If you're a fan of this podcast, make sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Abbas Bonaheri, where I publish weekly videos of In My Voice podcast. I appreciate your support and looking forward to connecting with you each week. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about a topic that I think is incredibly important when it comes to friendships. Confrontation. It can be uncomfortable, awkward, and even downright terrifying to confront someone you care about. But I truly believe that it's necessary if you want to maintain a healthy and fulfilling relationship. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a friend has said or done something that upsets you, but you didn't say anything about it? Maybe you thought that it wasn't a big deal, or you didn't want to rock the boat. Or maybe you were worried that if you spoke up, you would lose that friendship altogether. I've been there. And I'm sure many of you have as well. But the thing is, when we don't confront our friends about issues that bother us, it can actually do more harm than good. The problem doesn't go away on its own, and it can fester and grow until it becomes a much bigger issue than it ever needed to be. Think of it like a tiny crack in a windshield. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal, right? Just a small imperfection that you can ignore. But if you don't address it, the crack can spread and cause the entire windshield to shatter. It's the same thing with unresolved issues in friendships. They may start small, but if left unaddressed, they can cause irreparable damage to the friendship or relationship. I know that confronting a friend can be scary, but here's the thing. If you approach it in the right way, it doesn't have to be a negative experience. In fact, it can actually bring you closer together. Think of it like a house that needs some repairs. Yes, it may be a bit a hassle to fix a leaky faucet or patch the hole in the wall. But once you do, the house is stronger and more resilient than ever before. It's the same with friendships. When we confront issues and work through them together, we build trust, understanding, and respect. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you need to confront a friend, remember that it's not about attacking or accusing them. It's about sharing your feelings and working together to find a solution that works for both of you. Now, the biggest mistake we make in these confrontations is trying to accuse the other person without looking at our own part in the argument. I've come across different people who prefer different approaches when it comes to confrontations. And I know all of us fall amongst the different perspectives I'm going to share. The first, we have the avoider. The avoider normally says, I hate confrontation. Whenever there is a problem in my friendship, I try to ignore it and hope it goes away on its own. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or make things worse. I would rather sweep it under the rug and move on, even if it means pretending everything is okay when it's not. Yes, I know there is one who is there and they are an avoider. And then we have the confrontationist. They'll always go like, I believe in being upfront and honest with my friends. If there is an issue, I'll confront it head on. I don't see the point in beating around the bush or playing games. I'd rather get everything out in the open so we can resolve it and move forward. It might be uncomfortable in the moment, but it's better than letting resentment build up. We have the compromiser. This one is always like, I don't like confrontation, but I also don't like ignoring problems. I try to find a middle ground where I can discuss the issue calmly and respectfully. I believe in listening to both sides and finding a compromise that works for everyone. It's not always easy, but it's worth it in the end to maintain a healthy friendship. And then we have the passive aggressive. These ones are like, I don't like to confront people directly, but I also don't want to be a pushover. So instead, I'll make the snide remarks or give people the silent treatment. It's not the best way to handle things, but it's better than nothing. I wish I could be more direct, but it's not worth my personality. These ones will keep on throwing comments. Aren't you the one who said this? Do you remember the last time I tried that? They'll only throw in a comment here and there. Confrontation in friendships may seem scary, but it's necessary if you want to maintain healthy and fulfilling relationships. By confronting issues head on, you can prevent small problems from turning into big ones and build stronger, more resilient friendships in the process. So, how best can we engage in a confrontation? Let me share with you some few tricks on how to confront your friends or people you live with. First, prepare for the conversation. Now, every time a friend of mine pisses me off, I prepare what I want to tell them in my head. So I prepare for the conversation. I think about what I want to say and why. So it's important for you to always prepare for the conversation. Identify the specific behavior or action that you want to address. You need to be very specific on what you want to address. And then consider the timing and location of the conversation. Always practice what you want to say beforehand. The second tip, start with a positive statement. Yes, I understand it's very hard if you're pissed. It's hard to look at the positive. But it's important to begin the conversation with a compliment or a statement that acknowledges something positive about the person or the relationship. For instance, I really appreciate how supportive you've been lately, but there is something that's been bothering me that I would like to talk about. Now, the fact that you're appreciating someone for being supportive to you, it calms them down to receive whatever you're going to tell them. They don't know that it's good or bad. So first, you've prepared their mind and they feel appreciated. So when you bring in whatever you want to say, their immediate reaction is not fighting back because they still remember the compliment. Third, always use I statements. When you're talking to them, refer to yourself. Focus on your own feelings and experiences rather than making accusatory statements or placing blame. For instance, I feel hurt when you cancel plans at the last minute without letting me know ahead of time. This is you telling them it is something about you. So it is you who is hurt about this, other than generalizing and accusing and maybe saying something like, you always do this and that and that. Now, when you come out and say you always do this, you're accusing them. But instead, say, I feel hurt, so that they know it's you. I feel hurt whenever you cancel the plans. The fourth tip, be specific. Always provide specific examples of the behavior or action that you want to address. For instance, last week we were supposed to meet up for coffee. You didn't show up, and you didn't answer my calls or texts until several hours later. Sometimes it's hard for you to be specific because perhaps you are the kind that has compiled a lot of issues that have come on. And this one time when you I have to confront them, then you pile all the other things and then you don't tell them, you just, accuse them of being a bad person or blah, blah, blah. It is important to always be specific. I am pissed at you because I called you twice yesterday. You did not pick, return my calls, or even text me to find out why I was calling. There you're very specific about why you are pissed and why you're actually confronting them to talk about them not picking your call. Fifth, listen to the other person's perspective. Give the other person a chance to share their own thoughts and feelings about the situation. You should try to understand where they are coming from and what might be motivating their behavior. Yes, I totally understand. You're pissed and you want to share these sentiments. But have you thought of why they did what they did? Now, if they are your friends, it's very important for you to first calm down and listen to them. So when you confront them about something and you're specific about it, listen to them. When you listen to them, you may find out that maybe they didn't pick up your call because they were, doing something important, but they forgot to call you back. So as you confront the other person, always try to understand and listen to their perspective before passing your judgments. 6. Focus on finding a solution. If you still value the friendship, work together to come up with a solution or a plan for how to address the issue. So you have talked about whatever is disturbing you and you feel like you've exhausted it. Do not just, say, okay, bye, have a good day. Come up with a solution. Say in the future we can agree to give each other at least 24 hours notice if we need to cancel plans. Here, you're giving them an opportunity to rectify. Yeah, they are wrong, and perhaps in your discussions, in your confrontation, they've said, I'm sorry. So you don't leave that conversation there. You tell them how you would appreciate them to at least give you 24 hours notice if they were going to cancel the plans. In that way, whatever the reason was for your confrontation or what angered you does not repeat in the future. And finally, end on a positive note. This person is your friend, or at least someone you know, and that's why you're confronting them to have this conversation. Always try to end on a positive note. End the conversation with a statement that reaffirms your commitment to the relationship and your willingness to work through any issue that arises. Statements like, I really value our friendship and I am glad we were able to talk about this. Let's keep the lines of communication open and continue to support each other. This kind of ending reassures the other person that you have fixed the problem. Now, even if you part ways or you end that conversation there, They will not have that awkward feeling of, I can't start the conversation because we had an argument. No, because they feel like you ended on a positive note and made them feel like they can always still talk to you, they can always be friends. But if you just have this argument, say whatever you're saying, and then bye, have a good day. If that bye, have a good day came to me, I would think, how do I even start having another conversation? That's how you find yourself not talking for a week, 2 becomes a month, a year, and your friendship is in the gutter. Overall, the key to confronting someone in a constructive and productive way is to focus on your own feelings and experiences. Be specific about the behavior or action that you want to address and work together to find a solution that works for both of you. If you like this episode and you want to help this message spread, go ahead and like, comment, and share with your friends so that we all work on our relationships and build a better environment for all of us to grow and become better people. I am Bwana Harry, and this is In My Voice.